Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, and involve me and I learn. Benjamin Franklin. One of the best things about 4th grade was my teacher, Miss Coulter. She made math class an exciting experience for me and my compadres. At first, some kids didn't like math and thought it was boring, but Miss Coulter turned their frown to boredom upside down. Although she was a fun-loving teacher, she was somewhat strict. In a way, she reminds me of a cucharita. You know those spicy Mexican candies that come on a plastic spoon and they're like 99 cents? Sweet and spicy. If you ask me, fairness means people treat everyone equally and give everyone the same choices and opportunities. Miss Coulter was a perfect illustration of this simple but important trait. She didn't judge her students by their race, gender, hobbies, or even grades. She judged us all by who we were. In the past, I've run into people who think because they're different, they're less than others, and that's completely and utterly bogus. Miss Coulter always told us that our differences make us who we are, and we should use those differences to stand out from the crowd. Each of us is the only ones the world's gonna get, so each of us should embrace what makes us unique and use it to inspire others. Miss Coulter wasn't just my teacher. She was a confidant. As I have already stated, she didn't have any prejudices about me or my personality. She knew me for me. She also accepted the fact that math wasn't everybody's strongest subject, but she still pushed us to our limits. I was one of those students for whom math wasn't my favorite subject. It was my subject. Miss Coulter always took me step by step on every math problem, and thanks to her, I was beginning to make 100s on every single assignment. She had been one of the most accepting, encouraging, and patient teachers I've had. I have friends who absolutely positively hate school. Of course, there's a lot not to like about school. I mean, from waking up before the sun rises and not getting until like noon. I get why some students don't like school. The 2 hours and 45 minutes I spent with Miss Coulter, though, were a breath of fresh air, as she would say. I've heard that some people don't like certain subjects or school entirely because the teachers don't make lessons engaging enough for their students to want to learn. However, not all teachers aren't like that. Not being engaged isn't even a possibility in Miss Coulter's class. At times, she would even ask us what we wanted to do the next day, and she would incorporate her math into the concoction we wanted. She literally was the Hermione Granger of mathematics. Boring wasn't even in her hefty vocabulary. She tried to stuff as much knowledge into our little noggins as she could, because she wanted us to be able to accomplish great things. Alexander K. Shenfer once said, "The best teachers are the ones who tell you where to look but not what to see." This is true for all teachers and educators around the world. Miss Coulter is the teacher who teaches her students how to think but not what to think. I don't mean to sound too cliche, but she played a big role in molding me into the independent youngster I am today. For all you pepsters out there, I'm going to go ahead and pull a Whitaker and say that I am so proud and happy to announce that Kim Coulter as my star teacher. That didn't make sense. A huge shout out to all my teachers from PEP. Miss Kelly, Miss Jenkins, Miss Bledsoe, Miss Richardson, Miss Cooper, Miss Player, Miss Massey, Miss Cooley, and Miss Dawson for helping me on my journey as a pepster.
School, a place most children would avoid any day, but in Miss Bickerdike's 3rd grade class, that wasn't the case. I look forward to seeing the memorable, problem-solving, and amiable teacher every day. Miss Bickerdike was not like any normal teacher. When I explain why, you'll understand, or you'll see what I mean. It all started one fateful day, the first day of 3rd grade. I walked in and was greeted with a big, cheerful smile by Miss Bickerdike. When I walked into her classroom, I hardly recognized anybody. Oh great, another one of those years, I muttered to myself. Little did 3rd grade me know, this was to be the greatest year of my student life. During the year, I learned my fair share about Miss Bickerdike, about Miss B. Most days I saw the angelic, loving teacher, but another day I saw a strict and kind of scary demon teacher from who knows where. Miss Bickerdike figured out a trick to use to avoid being that demon teacher. Her cooking. You must be thinking, how do you, a mere student, know about her cooking? And if I'm totally honest, normally I shouldn't know, but this teacher was far from normal, in a good way. Given that we were all third graders at the time, we were chatty and rambunctious a lot of the time. So Miss B thought of a pretty cool system to keep us well behaved. If we got a compliment from another teacher or the principal, we would get a letter. Once we got enough letters to spell a word, Miss B would bake us some delicious brownies or bring us some Klondike bars. Pretty amazing, right? But the story doesn't end there. You see, third grade me and present day me writes for fun. Many days in third grade, I would spend my recess writing about my old pet hamster, Hammy. These stories would be about, well, anything, from saving the world from robots or rescuing the president. This little hamster has done it all. And guess who encouraged me to write those stories? Miss B. Miss B, she also urged me to read my stories to the whole class. I was pretty nervous that no one would like them, but Miss B gave me the courage I needed. I walked to the front of the room, holding 2 sheets of notebook paper that were filled with words. I looked at the faces of my classmates. Then Miss B announced what I was doing. I started to read out loud. The class loved them. Hammy and I were class celebrities now. Then something truly crazy happened. Miss Bickerdike told me that perhaps at the end of the year, I could bring Hammy to school. And it happened. Hammy the hamster went to third grade with me. I could go on and on and on about her, but I'm afraid I might break the computer's memory drive. I write this essay to show you, no, to prove to you, that Miss B made me and others good students and good people. So, I guess I'll say it now. Put your hands together for Miss Bickerdike, the winner of the Lamplighter contest.